History often remembers civilizations by their power, their armies, their monuments, and their conquests. But history rarely pauses to ask a deeper question. What was the moral condition of the world before guidance arrived? The Quran does not narrate history as a list of dates or kings. It diagnoses conditions. It speaks of a time when humanity, despite trade, poetry, and political power, existed in what it calls clear error. Although before that, they were in clear error. This was not the era of ignorance alone, but the absence of moral direction. A world where strength defined truth and justice depended on power. Across vast regions, from empires to desert tribes, societies were shaped by hierarchy and survival. The strong protected their own. The weak were often left unseen. In Arabia, tribal loyalty determined worth. Violence was normalized. Women and children could be treated as property. Yet this condition was not unique to one land. Across civilizations, moral restraint struggled against ambition, and compassion was often selective. The Quran describes this condition with a single word: darkness. Not darkness as the absence of culture, but darkness as the absence of justice. To bring you out of darkness into the light. In the language of the Quran, guidance is not imposed. Light does not destroy what exists. It reveals what has been hidden. And before light can be understood, the darkness it addresses must be acknowledged. Beneath Mecca's prosperity, a harsher reality shaped daily life. Slavery was widespread. Human worth was measured by ownership and power. And among the most devastating practices was the killing of newborn girls. A custom rooted in fear, poverty, and social shame. Slavery was widespread. Human worth was measured by ownership and power. Tribal raids were common. The strong often survived by taking from the weak. The Quran would later speak of this crime, not with anger, but with moral indictment. And when the girl who was buried alive is asked for what crime was she killed, this was not a society devoid of intelligence or culture. It was a society where survival had eclipsed conscience, and where mercy was too often sacrificed. In the name of honor and power. In the absence of a unifying moral compass, tribal identity became the highest law. Disputes between clans did not end with words. They ended with weapons. Cycles of revenge passed from father to son, binding generations to conflicts they did not begin. War was remembered more clearly than peace, and strength was mistaken for justice. This was a world where conflict shaped identity, and mercy struggled to survive. Beyond the deserts of Arabia, the world was shaped by two colossal powers. To the west, the Byzantine Roman Empire ruled with imperial authority, sustained by law, wealth, and military force. To the east, the Persian Empire stood as its rival, vast, disciplined, and deeply entrenched in hierarchy and conquest. These empires dominated trade routes, commanded armies, and competed endlessly for influence and control. Yet despite their power, neither empire offered a moral vision capable of healing the fractures of humanity. Their conflicts drained resources, their hierarchies preserved inequality, and their reach extended far beyond justice. Arabia stood between these two worlds, not as a center of empire, but as a witness to their limitations. It was in this global landscape, marked by power without mercy, and order without moral restraint, that the world stood waiting. Not for another empire, but for guidance. History had perfected systems of power. What it lacked was conscience. We have not sent you, except as a mercy to all worlds. In the final years before his birth, Mecca stood at the center of an event that would be remembered not by kings, but by revelation. From the south, an army led by the Abyssinian ruler, Abraham, marched toward the Kuba, determined to destroy the sanctuary that stood beyond imperial control. and among his army marched war. Elephants, his force was vast, his power Symbols of domination meant to intimidate a city without walls. Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their plan go astray? And he sent against them flocks of birds, striking them with stones of baked clay, and made them like eaten straw. The Quran does not frame this event as a military victory. It presents it as a lesson. That power, when detached from humility, collapses under its own weight. Mecca was spared, not because it possessed an army, but because it was under protection beyond human control. This moment would become known as the Year of the Elephant, and it was in that same year that a child would soon be born. Not as a king, not as a conqueror, but as a mercy to all the world.